Again, scraped with my feet. And found a beautiful one. Just absolutely gorgeous. Today's goal is to take you shelling with me here, Branyon Beach, the Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'll show you the beach. Hopefully you're seeing that, how beautiful the water is. Not a lot of people out here right now. It's a good thing. There's nobody out here shelling right now. Also a good thing. So, let's see how things go. I might even go down to the water a little bit and try there, but we'll do that near the end, because if I get my scooper wet, it makes it harder for me to get this loose sand up here. I thought I had found me a nice little nutmeg there. Usually I do find some nutmegs to get me started. If not, I find some Scotch olives, shit, I'm sorry, letter olives. And I used to grab things that kind of get my attention when it comes to the colors like that. I like the colors. And things that are fragile goes into a special bag. Up. Here we go. First find of the day. That, my folks, is what we call a nutmeg. It's a little one. So, we'll get the dirt out of it. Sand out of it. Sorry. Don't want to offend anybody on the beach. Got the sand out of it. And we'll put it in a special little bag. So, could be a good day now. We'll see. I'm just kind of giving you my point of view there, hopefully on the camera. It's kind of hard to see out here in the sun. But just kind of walk along. Do a scan as you go. Not looking for anything in particular. I usually come out with some sort of an agenda of what I want to find. Or what I'd like to find is always the good stuff. But, you know, we come out here and we look for something that catches our attention. And we make sure it's free of its native wildlife. And we put it in our little baggie and we go home and we wash it up and we use it, display it, and brag about it. Doesn't look like a whole lot out here, but let's continue on down. This is a lot of trafficked area here, so finding stuff here is not always expected. Usually do find a lot of olives, lettered olives here. Have not found those in this walk, which is interesting. And I'll bring up a piece of lettered olive. There's a piece of one. Could be interesting, but we're going to let it stay here. The problem you also have is you have a lot of people who they drive on this beach on the cars, so they crunch up a lot of this stuff. So it's definitely a needle in a haystack type of day. There's part of a lettered olive. It's gotten broken off. Now here's an interesting shell. From what I've been told, the markings are from a worm that basically made its bed in there. It's interesting. There's a nice piece of a It looks like it's part of a lettered olive, not really sure, but I like the colors of it. So we'll stick it in a special bag. And we'll keep looking. I think I see ourselves a nice olive. Not the biggest I've seen, not the smallest, and it's a 2-for-1. We got a shell with some worm markings and a lettered olive. From what I understand, mostly lettered olives out here on the Gulf Shores beaches. I believe there's different type of olives at other beaches. And sometimes I just kind of let the sand speak to me, and I'll stop and I'll do a little scraping of the surface with my handy dandy scooper here. Love it, love it, love it. Thanks to my friend Mark who made this for me. When I hit the harder sand, the wetter sand, I try to pack. I stay away from that. I don't scoop that much further down. And you do have some people that will come out here and they will dig holes that they can sit in and search, but I'm just not one of those diggers. I've tried it. Just did not really like it. Ah, here we go. Here's a piece of a Scotch bonnet. It's a very deformed one, it looks like. That's a weird one. Huh. It does not appear to be broken, but it appears as if it's kind of malfunctioned or malformed or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting, and I'll take it. That goes in the special bag. So, like I said, I'll just let the area speak to me. Here's another lettered olive. It's gray. Kind of like that. And then we get I call this a shark's eye. I could have the wrong name, but I do like the color. It's unusual. It's a white, pearlescent. Make sure there's nothing in it. Looks good to me. We'll stick it in the special bag. Now, my method is different than most people, I'm sure. We all have a different method of hunting. I just kind of developed the attitude of I don't want to dig because it's just kind of boring to me sitting in one spot. I like to walk. It allows me to get in my steps, get a little exercise, see a little bit of the beach as I go. And it's been pretty successful in my finds, so don't want to mess with what's working, right? Like I said, I will walk along here and I will find lettered olives of all different sizes. And from what I understand, it's unusual that they're here. So I'm going to take some of them, and I know I'm going to come up with things to do with them. We'll just see how they turn out, right? And I just stop along the way. What catches my attention, I stop and I scoop a little bit. I'm more of a surface sheller is what I call myself. It's my own little term I come up with. Now, I've also been known to drag my feet like I'm dragging right here. And if I feel something, I'll stop. And I'll give it a couple of minutes of my time. But this is pretty, not much here right now. So I see something ahead of us. Here's a nice find. Augers. I love the augers. Don't know why, but I love them. It's a beautiful color. Get the sand out of it and we'll stick it in the bag. And here's another lettered olive. Lettered olives are usually shiny, shiny, shiny. This one's a little bit, got a little dull to it, but still pretty. Lots of different sizes. And if I'm calling something the wrong thing, I'm sorry. I'm not an expert. I just know what I like. So I just kind of come out here and find them, pick them up, and take them. But I feel after doing this for a couple of months now, I feel like I can find a needle in a haystack. lettered olive. We got some pieces. Alright, so nothing major. Got your what I call commons. That's a broken olive. Here's a gray olive. Looks like it's broken. Unfortunately, getting a lot of broken stuff right this minute. And here's one I like. I don't know what it is. Oh, looks like I got a twofer here. Looks like I got a shark's eye. And then I'm not sure what this one's called. It's broke, but I do like it. And I've been able to get a few that are not broke. So, and this one might be a little broken too. We'll take it. Starting the day out looking pretty good. I'll tell you something else I like is if you look really closely here, see that very small one? I like those. I know they're common out here, but I like them. And if I get them in the scoop, I take them. They look like small nutmegs, or sorry, olives. I'll stick that in the special bag. That's it. This is how I shell hunt. This is how I go shelling. Nothing special. I'm not diving for stuff. I'm not digging for stuff. Just kind of walk around, get a feel for the area, and if it propels me to stop and dig, I'll stop and scoop a little bit. Look at there. And another one of these. Whatever this is. I need to look this up. It looks, this one might be broken, but it's pretty. I do like the color. Still got potential in my world. Now I also like to collect. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's gorgeous. Beautiful. Again, they just came from a scoop there. Just scooping it around, and it was underneath the surface there. And don't push my luck, because I'm not expecting to find 2 or 3 things in the same area. 2 or 3 good things in the same area, so kind of move on. Okay, my foot hit something here. Let's see what we got. Okay, we got a piece of a big shell. Now, what I have also found is the black ones are not very popular. It's not too bad. I did see an olive that caught my attention here. It's a light colored olive. There's a piece of a bonnet right there. Yeah, it's a piece of a bonnet. Unfortunately, lots of pieces out here. There's a lettered olive. It's lighter color. Now, I like the big pieces. Let me get back to that. Let me get back to the big piece here. I like the big pieces, texture on them. And this one's kind of worn. So we're going to tuck that one in here. And we're going to take these 2 nice olives. We're going to stick them in this little bag. And we're going to continue on. Again, I felt that with my foot. Stopped and checked it out. And right before I leave, what I tend to do is find me an area where there's a lot of debris like this. And I'll just come give it a scoop and dump it in a bag and go back and sort it out later. And I have come across some really cool finds doing that, because it's things that I probably wouldn't notice this far down or this far away from me, because I'm not getting on my hands and knees and searching. Like I said, I am not a shell expert. If you're watching this expecting to be educated, you're probably very disappointed right now. And walk along. So I've spent quite a bit of time right there in this area. I think I'm going to move on now. I do. I think this is a great activity for those of us who have the ADHD chromosome, because I could stand here and get bored and move on, and I may come back later. I may stumble across the same area later, but I'm not hurting anything. I'm not hurting anybody, and it occupies my mind as I go. So I think it's kind of cool. I think if you're one of those unfortunates, like probably half of America with ADHD, this would be a good thing for you to get out and do and enjoy. You might find some peace in doing it. I do. And I am glad I got introduced to it. Some friends here in the Gulf Shores I met. So I'm going to walk along a little bit. Just surface shelling is what I call it. There we go. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. Looks 98%, I guess, there. Clean it out. And we'll put it in the fragile bag. Alright, we'll continue on. Usually I can find nutmegs right on the surface if I'm going to find them. I do love the nutmegs. That's an interesting one. And yeah, I do pick up what I call the commons occasionally. I do pick them up if they're whole. They got a good shape to them, a good texture. I like them. And over here, laying right here, is a piece. That would have been a beautiful shell. And I'm tempted to take it because I like the colors. Why not? It's a pretty colors. Nice and vivid. So let's continue down this way, see what we can find. Here's an olive, a piece of one. It looks like it's got a little hole in it, so we're just going to let it go back out there. There's something with a weird shape to it. Let's see what this is. This looks like a pocket. It is a pocket. It's really cool. Got a good shape to it. I like it. It'll go. Let's keep walking. Beautiful olive there. I can't resist the olives. I really can't. So here we are. You can see, looking around, people have dug out here and look like they've just dumped them. Hopefully the GoPro video is showing you something. So let's take a walk up to the top. I'm seeing something standing out at me. To the top, I mean the top of this pile. Yeah, this stood out at me, but unfortunately it's nothing. It's just a piece of a broken one. And this one stands out at me. It's beautiful colors. It is broken. We'll take it. It's pretty. So this is definitely an area where I would be doing a lot with my foot, scooping a lot with my foot to see what I find, because what's on top is what people have dug up and left behind. So I check the area first for what's on top, and I scoop with my foot, and I find something like that laying there underneath. Not bad. There's an olive. I'll let that go. This might be a good area for me to come back to and do some scoop and dump, like I like to call it, where I just scoop it up and stick it in a bag, go home and sort it. We're getting down to the wet sand where people dig. And you can see there's an olive right there. It's buried. Look how shiny it is, even though it just came out of the ground with the dirt packed around it. Alright, I see some things laying on the top here. Let's go over this way to the left. I see an auger. Unfortunately, it's kind of broke, so let's take that one. Let's look at these two. They're right there together. There's an auger, and there's an auger. Now, you're looking at that scoop thinking, what else is in there? Well, it looks like just some common shells. And those are the kind of things that come back and I just scoop and stick in a bag and check out later. There's a small auger. I like the small ones. They get overlooked. So if we're looking here, see a lot of different things going on here. A lot of different shells. A lot of pieces. And this has been a combination of people digging, the trucks driving over them, beach trucks, what have you. So like I said earlier, this might be a place where I'd come back later and do some scoop and dump. And here's a nice small olive. As I said, I am partial to some of the small olives. It's a pretty color. I may have a couple of these already. We'll take that one too. I'm really trying to find something of interest here. These common shells, they're pretty. Like I said, I'll come back and do some scooping. That one's pretty. Unfortunately, it's all broken, and I've got a bunch of these, so somebody else out there is going to want that. We'll let them have it. Here we go. Look at here. That little scoop yielded us a nice little find. And we got another auger. And a blackish olive. And a bunch of little things. So, not a bad find for a little scoop. Like that. Had to change out GoPro batteries. We had just found us a nice olive. I'm still in the middle of what looks like a big dumping ground, and we're going to pick it up where we left off. And look at that. Pick up where we left off, indeed. A piece. Okay, it's a piece. There's one of the small ones that I like. If I can get it out of this strainer. Oh. I'm on the struggle bus here. Got it. And a small, but not perfect. Alright. Let's continue on. Let's see what we can find. Let's hope we can find some good stuff here. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing me talk and seeing my feet. Look at there. Again, scraped with my feet. And found a beautiful one. Just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, my method works for me. Now, if I see something on top, I'll stop and grab it. Right now, oh, hold on. What was this one? Oh, that was nothing. It was something. It was a nice shell, but it wasn't of the unusual variety. Okay, now I got you in the shadows, I hope. Don't know if that's going to help the GoPro video or not. I know it is getting warm out here on me, so... Aha! Look at there. uncovered a larger olive. Unfortunately, it's broken. It's been out here for a while. It's pretty weathered. So we're gonna let that one stay out here. Live its best days here. I like the shinier ones. Who doesn't? It's beautiful. Nice colors. There's a view of the water, I hope. It's pretty calm today compared to what it has been. I just prefer walking along, appreciating the scenery of shells, and finding that needle in a haystack kind of thing. And I have been fortunate to find, I believe, 10 Scotch bonnets in that fashion. I believe I'm up to 10. They're just pretty. Shells are just pretty. Don't recall ever seeing this many on other beaches I've been to. Let's see, there's a small one I like. It's just pretty. You know, I'm seeing one over here. I'm calling this a kitten's paw. But it looks like it's actually a clam. It's kind of cool. So, I'll stick that in the big mesh bag. There's another shark's eye, I believe it's called. I don't know what the name is officially, but I'll look it up. I believe that's what I've been hearing it called. Beautiful colors. This sand here is a little bit more packed. It's a little bit closer to the water's edge, and they've been driving on it a lot more, so it's a lot more packed. So chances are most of the stuff here is going to be broken. Now you can find the occasional under the sand protected, but most of it's going to get broken. So we're going to make our way back up here away from the water's edge into an area. It looks like it's been dug a little bit. Another auger stands out at me. Finding quite a few of these today. Oh, can't hang on to it apparently. It's pretty. They're all different colors. I'm not finding too many of them that are the same colors. Alright, I think I see a large olive. Let's go check it out. Yeah, it is larger. It's broken and it's black. I don't mind the black ones, but it's broken. Yeah, there was a point where we could walk out here and just scrub our feet and come across olives just galore. Now imagine how big that one would have gotten. Oh, gorgeous coloring. I think I had the camera turned away, but look there. Look at that. So pretty, 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 pretty. Appreciate it very much. So let me That one's fragile, so I usually stick it in a pocket on my pants so that I don't accidentally squish it in the bags with others. Again, just surfacing, just kind of touching the surface, not going much further than ankle deep, let's say. And I don't know, is there more below? Probably. But at this point, what I don't know is not going to hurt me. Right? Looks like the olives today are going to be small. Maybe all the big ones have been picked up now. Not finding the nutmegs like I usually do. Disappointing. That is a huge clam, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Clamshell? Kind of what it looks like. Don't have one of these. I'm going to take this one. That's a huge one. Gotta figure out what it is. Oh, the sun just stays with the color on. Here's a piece of a Scotch bonnet. It has seen better days. It's been run over and stepped on because I'm walking this way because something caught my attention, and it's an olive next to a beautifully colored conch shell, I guess, piece of one. And then to the left of that was this beautiful shell. I do not know what it is. It looks like it was part of, it looks like it might have been a nutmeg. It's broken, but it's so beautiful, the insides, and shiny right from the ground. I did not take it and wash it first. Those were all found right next to each other. Look at the color on that. Just a small nick out of it. I'll appreciate it. Look at the color on that one. It's beautiful coloring. No, I'm not going to take it. I'll leave it here for someone else to appreciate. Well, not a whole lot going on today. Not a whole lot of finds. I was hoping the camera would bring me good luck and I'd find a Scotch bonnet. Maybe 10's my lucky number and I'll keep it at that. So, the camera's getting warm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this camera up. I'm going to look around a little bit more, but leave you with the view of the ocean.